Okay, it's 8:35. And I suppose we're coming in the middle of the week now, and the dollar yen has been smashed to the edge. If I would have traded the dollar yen today, it would have looked like this from the entry standpoint. I suppose the punishment part of this would be about 40 pips of crush into anything below here. So I'm just going to do the manual version of the other indicators. Yeah, what I was describing there was, well, I don't know what kind of ATR this is, but the look back. I'm just looking at, you can't really do indicators for this, but all we care about is right now. So you can make all kinds of arguments back here of in this 10 pip window of like, yes, see the pivot, or you see when they crush this floor, there was an opportunity to scalp that. But there's also, you have to take your 10 pips and run. Because as soon as so imagine you put a 10 trading with a 20 pip entry window. So you're trading 200K, 1 pip out apart. You've got 10Ks per pip. Imagine that. So you could write a script. I'm sure 20 tickets would not be too much for the broker to accept. He tested on the demo. A double click with 30 tickets, 1 pip apart would be a 30K, and you're covering a 30 pip range. Why not? Why are you getting in a 30K with a 20 pip stop? I'm sorry. If you got in a solid 30K with a 50 pip stop, well, why not just actually have a 50 pip stop on one ticket? But one of those tickets, because you think you're such a genius by even buying on limits 3 pips deep right now. So if I went to the euro right now and said, I'm going to buy 3 pips deep all night long, I'm going to cancel and replace every 15 minutes. I forgot to mention that when I say an 8-hour thing, I'm expecting the expiration on the tickets to last 8 hours. So you're safe from any exposure. So you set a 4-hour script that's pretty close to the market. This is the Goldilocks trading system of being just the right, not too hot, not too cold, not too close to the market, not trade too big. So if you really trade big tickets in Asia that are 20 pips deep, well, they might have to be 4-hour expirations because you want them to linger out there looking to capture a sell-off. And with this limit entry style where you're creating a time limitation for the market to get to your price, so you're putting up a captured time window. And that's just the way it is, right? Because good till canceled would be, it's there all day long. So if you put a buy limit 20 pips deep without an expiration, it's just going to be there. And if you put a stop on it, that's going to make sense. That may get triggered like 3 months from now. It's 500 pips deep on some structure of some Williams fractal on a weekly chart. Imagine that. And you're just like, yeah, dude, I got like a 40K sitting here like in a 20 pip range. If they ever tag that and the market doesn't keep tanking like they unpeg the Swiss franc, then yeah, it's probably gonna dippity do like this dollar yen here. I would have totally been willing to go underwater by this first 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now this is where if you trade with the 100 pip stop, included in the script, of course, when the market was here, is really the time. If you think it's going to tank and you miss the tank, you miss the sell ride, if you got the flexibility to say, well, that's okay, because if they ever take out this, I want that price and everything below for 30 pips. So that's what I have in my head. is putting in 15 pip. I have these logarithmic ones, which are staggered, so you get in lightly, and the closer they get together. I think I did it when I closed out the last video. So these are big swing trades here. This is $18 to make $18 if this happens. Maybe a little bit more, right, with commissions on it. If I put a buy limit here for 8 hours, I get kind of aggressive and say, you know what? I'll buy a retest of that wick. If there's enough money in the account, so see how it's getting in a virtual martingale, because these are 1Ks, you can't, it's not the kind of script that I'm talking about with the 30 tickets. This is completely different. This is a precision drop. If you do a double click where you tell the thing just, hey, listen, launch all these tickets right now, you could do that. So if you're really aggressive and the news is out and you can babysit the market through 2 hours of bullshit news like this morning, and you got to have those tight exits, because take profits, because you can't get out of big tickets. So I had to get out this morning on the rally 5 minutes ahead of time, and unloading 300K it took 5 minutes. So, but that's okay, because the market went higher and then it climaxed, and went another 5 minutes, it went up another 8 pips, which would have been about another $80. And then it pulled back, and I thought, here comes the pullback. So then I came in with the buy limits. So after we climaxed, we didn't quite make it to this window last night. This is the euro dollar. That was the turnaround. So I got out above in that 10 pip window, because I had to. And now when we got to the top of the hour, I'm like, well, the news is coming out. They're just going to fuck everybody. The news is coming out, and this is just I guess you could call it a trap. And here comes the news, and it comes ripping down, and I thought, okay. Well, then they started filling me, and I thought, well, it's going to come back to maybe here and then take off. No. So this crushed into tickets, and I thought, well, I'm going to do the same thing I always do. Just keep buying into that. So I'll do that again. So tonight, I'm ready to buy more of this for 8 hours into this now. And this is just the whole thing. It just has to be like this. If you're swing trading it, now I got some scalps in here, some bad ratios, which these pay the rent. Risk 12 to make 8. I'll start buying if we take out the low of yesterday. So this would be a giant, this is like a rigged election down here. See? Comes into this trap. It's Asia. We may have to take out yesterday's low. We may just tank and just blow the whole thing up, right? But I got plenty of dry powder. I want to pick up another 150K here. If we can plunge into for the next 45 minutes. So 9:30 is going to be a big deal. And yeah, it's just the week's half over. You could be short from the top of this right now. You'd be up 30 pips, and you'd be thinking, well, geez, should I get out here? When do you buy it back, right? And so just like last night's raid, so here was the raid. That was a sniper entry I was talking about, where if you sat there and babysat that window on the 30-minute chart, 15, I guess, if you want to nitpick, but who's got time for that, right? With that 911 girl, I got time for this. What do I look like, a babysitter here? What's going on? 18 to make 10. Now, you may think these are bad trades, but I'm not going to get stopped out, right? I'll go underwater for 10. So here you're risking $5 to make $3, but these are 8-hour trade plans. I'm giving the market 8 hours to crush in and take out yesterday's low. And so far, the bears are, the people that got in here on the tippy top, the top tick Tommy, take out the high of the day. Here comes the news, and then wah. Certainly, this is where I got in for the same dippity do, just on the wick. This is the Williams fractal lonely wick. You got your orders in here. There's tons of. You're going to find out within a half an hour whether you're right or wrong about that trade, right? It's just like, You don't have to wait for the battle, the corrupt election. Now we're coming back in the window again. Yeah, I wish I was short, I guess, from here, but I'm not. I'm long. And I'm still assuming that we're going to retrace, but we may not. But all we have to do is poke down 15 to 20 pips, and I'll start to get filled. And I'll make money on this crush because it just autofills. You get to about 250K, and it's only got to retrace about 15 pips now to make a chunk of money. So it's difficult to buy into this at the market. That's why I wouldn't trade it at the market. This is way more conservative because I know if I keep dropping these tickets, yeah, okay, I could be down like $200, But if I can maintain a $300,000 position that moves 100 pips, now I just made $3,000. And Asia to me is just so they took out that low, but they haven't taken out the low of yesterday. So we're right in that key window here. It's coming up at 9 o'clock, 9:30. It's a half-hour chart. Big buyers or a big stop hunt for the bears that they're saying, look, they're coming after me. What the hell's going on here? So there's that. So somebody's always getting their ass kicked, right? So you got to root for the other team. I'm a buyer. I'm hoping they do crush it down more because I'm not in big enough. So this is my big, the most difficult thing is position sizing to the size of the account. Because, yeah, of course you want to build the account, but if you had, 70 grand in the account, okay, maybe you are trading 10Ks just so you can do the math easier. And you would, but you trade less tickets and you'd probably be a little bit more picky about your order placement. But of course, 70 grand in the account, you could using half your brain, and doing the same thing about time exposure risk. But I can get a robot to do that. So that's a robot. The only robot I'm capable of building is one that launches these scripts that I wrote. And I think it launches them on time, although it's supposed to have one more qualifier in there, but it's supposed to respond to the ATR. It's only supposed to run. The filter is supposed to be if the market's down 80 pips, it's launching stuff that's like 50 to 150 deep. So it runs a deep bot, a deep limit bot you would engage in a highly volatile market, even when the news is out, because when you back test that, you'll see, yeah, okay, it went underwater there, but with the right pip range, and this is where the skill would come, is saying to yourself, well, do you think we're in for a big crazy update? Now, if it is a really big crazy update, you think, well, let's put them in wide and let's put them in way up there, in the nosebleed section. And when it comes to the same thing, if the market looks like it's going to slam down, or the market's not going anywhere, and you're actually in the market in some kind of hedge, and is it okay to trade the break out of that into the limit grids that you have? Yeah, sure. If you can psychologically handle the fact that you're never going to be in a clean position, you're going to have a little of this, a little of that. You're kind of long, and now you have more decisions to make if you really care, because now you're going to say, well, should I get out of my longs and go flat into the limits because they're pending up there and down there, or should I just let this go? And then the same problem's going to come. Well, do I wait till another 10 minutes on this? I didn't wait long enough. But then, of course, I can unload even if you had 10Ks in a $70,000 account. Yeah, Fast Broker is going to let you out, right? So maybe you've got a fast connection, and that's going to matter, right? But that presupposes you trade that style. You could walk away from a trade with a 300 pip stop to make 100 pips, and you could only open the platform on a Sunday night, close it, never look at it. I guarantee you I could show somebody how to make money like that. But I don't know, because once you look under the hood of the car and you see, oh, if you just do this and this, it'll get 1,000 horsepower. somebody that wants to really crank an account is going to say, well, why not just go all the way? Right. So that's the two people out there. And, you know, you only have to be right 52% of the time idea kind of insults people's intelligence on some level, I'm sure. It would mine. And so it did. And I thought, you know, how dare you say that if I study the market better, I'll, you know, because I think it's studying the style of trade you're going to do. So this is the hard part because, you know, it is tempting. And I did buy a little bit of the market today, actually, with some wide stops when it was down here in this insane chatterbox down here. So this is the 10 pip. Also, if it came down there, I'd even buy more. So it's just really tough to buy into this, you know, because you say, well, I'm going to go down $150 to make $300. All right, well, you're only down $20 now, and staggering your tickets in front, I think is the art of it, is to, I guess, imagine we could drop 100 pips in 4 hours. And would you buy down there? And is that a structural place where there is a bunch of uncharted water down there that you can put your tickets? And I think you come to find that if you can afford putting in a $80 risk to make $160, and every ticket has a unique entrance price, and the stops and the take profits are unique, and maybe they're doubled up on other tickets, but at least it's unique to that entry. And so different expirations, and for the really aggressive or the robot that you could turn on would be on another computer, I hope, and it would be like, okay, this thing can be launching stuff you couldn't do, which is every hour it's putting out a dumb shit script like by 5 to I wrote a script on a 10K for a cent account, so it was a 10K, but it was really a like $100 position. It said 10K, but the way the cent account was set up, so you could just have these 3 tickets, 5, 10, 15 pips with a 30 pip stop, kind of a high risk. And then the targets were different, but it would just keep running this. But that's not something you want to, because as the market's dropping and it's coming out in front of it, with 1 hour expirations and the market's dropping X, well, you know, if it's a fast market, you would put on a deeper drop bot. So it's doing that chore of dropping the tickets, because if that's how you trade, it's just a helper. It's helping you do what you would normally do. Then there's the fact that Asia is dead. You don't have to be in the market, but like to me, it's just too much fun to trade. So I want to trade something in Asia at least. Now here we're going to have to figure out, well, are we going to break down or break up? So I figure this is the attempt, the market's attempting right now to take out the low of yesterday, and can it happen, you know? So we're not here's the low of yesterday, we're waiting for that, but we're in that box. Whereas if we close there, if we're not in big enough, we'll buy at the market. So I'm using buying the market as the last emergency pull button, kind of like using an eraser in a way. You don't want to make a mistake. So if you dedicate more tickets to everything below this, which is the critical price, and of course here is the low of the week. So if you can make it down here tonight, and I'm thinking, here I could leave town, put orders in here that last all week, because I think if we can make it down there at some point this week, that's a great place to buy. All right, so it looks like we're rejecting that wick. I should draw it like this. This is the current vacuum, and then here's the deep. Everything below here would be psychotic if it just crashed down into that right now, which it looks like it's doing it. Okay, so I picked up 5K, not a big thing. But 5 minutes before 9, Psychoville, these people are their mind. So there you go. 9 o'clock, 9:30. If we go ripping up now, if we make 150 bucks, so we make 10 pips. 12 pips will make 150 bucks in Asia. So that was the beatdown. Fast 1 hour stab into this fractal. Is this a breakout or a fake out? Are they trapping the bears? Do people really think this is going to tank? Also, we finally tagged the actual top in time. So we're right at that setup point, and I'm betting it's going to go up. I'm still holding on to about 115K of original position of what I got in down here. And I scalped out of everything. So I dumped the whole thing here and reloaded. So when we got to this point, I went flat on the whole account. And I didn't feel like being the guy that was going to sell there, because for me, it's easier to just think, well, let's just throw limits in when the news comes out, and whatever happens, I'll buy all the way down all day. And this is Monday's low, or Sunday really, I guess. And then here's Monday. So you're coming in to Wednesday. I'm thinking, yeah, we want to be long. Into Europe's open. And can we get above this high? So that was the first exit, but what I said in the other video was the deeper exit would be about another 40 pips up from here. So the question is, do we ride it up there? I say yes. The swing trader is going to hold this until Friday, when we might see the finishing of this pattern all the way back to, well, I guess going after this low that was taken out brutally, which is 20 pips away from where we could have possibly made it. And if we were lucky, we would have made it to here. But this morning wasn't that big a deal, and I don't know, we can still keep dropping tonight. But that's the 4 hour chart. And that's what I was thinking is, yeah, I'll just settle for like this trade. I don't need to trade this story about, well, we're going to take out this, and after that, of course, the next point that everybody's going to want to sell is going to be right up tippy top of that. Yeah, maybe by next week, next month. But in the meantime, I'll take a plunge of 10 pips with a 20 pip stop to make 20 pips. So to put 8 hour orders in, and well, let's see how far the market can go. If I was short from here, and the trend trader's entry would have been that rally, hopefully it would have triggered most people's. So all the trend traders are going to say, well, yeah, that's why we sell there at the trend line, and we got a bottom becomes a top becomes a bottom. And if you were too stingy, like if you couldn't afford this 10 pip window, then you missed your entry, right? Because you just didn't quite make it to the perfect and the spread, and I just, but now it's here. Now what? I say buy. And then this whole chatterbox here, man, this is a lot of range trading, isn't it? 20 pips of up and down, just complete berserkoid. Now, it looks very smooth on the closing prices. It just looks like, what are you talking about? It just went up. Oh, it didn't just go up, because it came back and it crushed this window. It took this out. I mean, it's crazy town. And now here's Wednesday. And can we make it back to Friday's? So we went to Friday's low. You know what? If we go up to here, I get out, right? In this window, I'm cashing out. And depending how violent the move is. So if it makes a big violent move, and of course the problem there is that it's probably going to give it back. So when you find yourself in these giant positions and you think, man, all of a sudden I'm just making so much money, you got to be careful because it could just go the other way in 5 minutes. So here's 9 o'clock, and it's kind of the deciding moment. And for the next half hour, we could either go up or down. So it's not a perfect world. It's not like it has to reverse here, although that is an inverted hammer, or that is a complete smackdown on the last hour. On the 4 hours, by the way. So the 4-hour chart just updated. And so that's a big deal. Inverted hammer on the 4-hour. So a little bit of, you see the hammer in the line chart. So that's a big deal. Now, more likely for an 8-pip rally, or at least come flying after. So I'm not gonna use that void fill indicator. I'm just gonna pick the last known wick, because I know that it's a great example of what's going on. But we're trying to make money here. So it's got to hit that. And I'm not going to go to the 1 minute chart. No. So I only did that to show the stairway. And I know people love the 1 minute chart, but it's ridiculous. Because I'm going to be in the market for 8 hours, 4 hours, 1 minute patterns. I mean, okay. To explain it, because it's more exciting, the 1 minute chart. But for anything else, it's better to go watch a bad movie and then just come back and see if you got filled or what happened. And I wouldn't worry about every trade. There's so many tickets out here that you can't really get too concerned about any one soldier. So a team of 1Ks is out there fighting for me tonight. It's 2 after 9. So 2 after 9 is a big deal. Actually, the next 3 minutes, to me, here's where everything happens. About 9:30, there's a come to Jesus moment for the market. Thank you, Jesus. Here I got some buy limits pending. I forgot. Yikes. So, but this is, I could lay a whole bunch of those really deep, and some of them wouldn't fill, Now, the dollar yen, it's pretty brutal. You got to be really ready to take go underwater. I mean, this thing can really just keep going against you. It moves, I would say, twice as much as on a weekly basis. I don't know what the weekly ATR is per week, but it looks pretty crazy here. And ranging to beat the band, I mean, I would say this is all ranging, even though you can make the claim it's in a downtrend, but that would be pretty silly considering the retracements on here. There's so much money to be made on the retracements, and just scalping 20 pips off of a 4-hour wick, or the daily wick is a 30 pip wick on the daily, and your trade's one and done. And you go hunting for the next trade. So I understand the appeal of the people build templates with no nonsense theory of find the best indicators. I mean, this is kind of what makes sense, right? Find the best engine, put it in the best car, the best suspension, on and on. But in the end, look at they're gonna fill my tickets here. So I really don't want to be in this trade. So I close the ticket out in front of it. See. And maybe we'll buy down here, but it looks like they're going to punish the dollar to bits here. So I don't want to have to babysit this trade tonight, so I'm just going to close out my tickets, or I could double click this to take off the bottom tickets there. So I can't tell. I put another account, but I couldn't trade. I don't want to trade more than one currency on an account because I can't tell what's going on. I mean, I can't see why I'm getting an ass kicked. Like, this broker is so funny because not only is it slow to get out of the trade, it's slow to get in. I didn't really realize it until I put a pack of 1Ks in right in front of the market, and I saw that I was actually up on my tickets, and I was up on the trades, and then I saw my margin get used. It was really weird. So it's as if they were blocking off the margin after the trade was filled. It was weird on it. Couldn't tell. I was looking at the phone. I just thought, well, that's weird. How can I be up? Maybe I was getting filled. I did have a dollar yen trade pending today to take advantage of that plunge. I seen it coming. So there's another plunge here. It's 5 after 9. Another possible plunge. So I don't expect the market to turn around on the dime on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. I expect it to go another 5-10 pips deep, and I expect to buy it on there. So I'm planning on buying the better price I can get, and it's just easier to plan it out in advance than it is to buy at the market when I don't really know if it's going to go any lower. If I thought this was the turnaround point, yeah, I'd just start pulling the trigger like crazy, man. So we could still crush. We could still take out all these lows right now. And I would be a big buyer below this one all the way down. So I'll put the tickets in right now. So these are actually, this is a 5 pip range here. So I did that so that I'm forced to cover a wide area. So here's a 14 pip stop to make 32 pips. I'll put that right up front. So now I could put more risk in where I think we're going, instead of what I used to do was buy pretty heavy at the market here because I just didn't want to babysit it. So in the demos, a lot of times I would buy without a stop right now. I'd buy like a 40K and then hit that ticket about 150K right there and just walk away. And if I saw it take this out, I'd just buy this is an account with like 15 grand in it, demo account. So I just buy another 40K and load it up pretty hard and then just wait. And then you'd have to dump it as soon as it came up and started coming after this. So right here, I want to buy if it comes below there. So a big buyer below here now. Now I'm going to put in the greedy targets of 34 pips is pretty good with a 12 pip stop. So it's $4 to make $10 here. So I'm going to stack a bunch of those up. And here's not $4 to make $4. I guess I call it. Now that I see the market retracing and I don't think I'm in big enough, I'm going to go just like this. Okay, so that's the big freak out, right? Because look what time it is. Wow. 9 o'clock. From here to 9:30, it's crazy town. Okay, I put buy limits in just under that and see how we just went down just a little bit lower. That's why it's hard to trade, man, because like it seems like it's gonna go to hell right there, but you just gotta get in it. Okay, that's about right. 148K. So we're trying to make $148. That's the way I always think about it in my head, because I'm trying to make 10 pips. Okay, looks like they're gonna take this thing to the woodshed now. I'm just gonna ride it out. I put these big targets in and yeah, this thing looks pissed off, man. I mean, the markets are going to come unwrapped, and look how deep in the bilge of price this thing's sitting. Jesus, I want to cash out of something right now. It looks like it's going to crash now. That tick chart's on fire. Check out this tick chart. This is a completely different broker. So look at the arbitrage here. Man, I could buy so hard in this broker right now, and they couldn't do nothing about it. That's weird. This is my fixed pip broker, and this is, see, sometimes you can do that trade. Oh, that's nice. See the future for a little bit there. Of course, that is a fixed pip broker. Maybe this should go up, according to what I just saw. Okay, it just backed off a little bit. Maybe that's why it looks like that. There's maybe big news coming out tonight. Let's see. I got this little news thing. No, I think actually the market, my other broker's like 2 minutes ahead of this broker. That is crazy. What are they saying in the news here? All right. In about an hour, they're going to come out with the Australian. Oh, that's where the people are killing each other over the mask thing. They lost their mind over there. What's going on with this broker? God damn, it's like 4 pips off. I don't know. They're different prices. Okay, I can't believe this price. Wait, that's not right. So they're finally responding to that price? No way. I gotta see this. I don't usually do this, so that's not. Christ, here, let's take a look at this. Yeah, I guess so. No, look at it. It took a while to respond to that. So this rally right here was, I saw that about 2 minutes ago. So this move right here, that's bizarre. Well, maybe there's just less ticks. Yeah. Okay, so we're looking for this thing to bust out and go into a psycho smash mode to here and beyond. So I'll be cashing in along the way, and I'll take the money and run just here by default because I put targets in like that. There she goes. Yeah, the 4-hour chart. A lot of great 10 pip scalps and 20 pip scalps in here, and then I suppose this is the classic retest, and now we're gonna start climbing out of the hole there. So I want to get in before we climb out because I don't want to buy now and chase it. All right, so that's going, and now we just wait it out, I suppose, till 9:30. We're up the whole $23. It's better than that kick in the head. $29. Look at that. Man, those Australians, what are they doing, man? These people lost their minds. Alright. Dab nabbit Luke. So I'm down like $20 for the last 6-8 hours. But we cashed out. I built a giant position, actually a bigger position than I had before. So I was at 127,000, hoping that we could just take off with a nice clean retracement. But no, we had to do the old smash and grab here. Didn't quite take out yesterday's low, but came damn near close. Took out that, right? So this turns out better because I was able to buy more. And FOMC tomorrow, so if we come take out this high by the time stocks open, I prefer it to happen right now, honestly, but I think this is the only realistic target is going to be if we could take out this high or even get up into this 20 pip window. And before that happens, we got to take out this high. Right, which is pretty good 10 pips. We'll make our 100, we can make 105 $40, $130 here. It's by 9 o'clock, you know. Boom, goes up. We're out. That kind of trade. So that's what we're looking for tonight. By 9:30, we'll be on the hunt for yesterday's high. By the time Europe opens, I don't want to seem like I do want the Hannah forex trade. Honestly, I want the psycho rally. I prefer that. Get her done. Just get her done. Just paint the whole car. The tires, everything. Just take it to the car wash and just put paint in the sprayers. Okay, so we're bullish tonight. It's time to go for another cheap movie. Yeah, somebody talking about doing a live stream, but live stream's tough. I'd have to do push-ups and stuff. I have to get a better audio, I was using I don't know if it still exists, Google Hangouts because unless people call in, it's no fun. Streaming live is really tough. I mean, it's a lot of work to have a bunch of stuff. It's a production. But, if you have somebody on a decent stream service, I don't know, hopefully the one where you keep your clothes on, because I've heard a lot of stories about people not being able to manage their camera. Like, what's going on out there, people? But, yeah. No, it's just so much work. I'm just too spoiled. I just want to eat ice cream and watch bad movies. But I'm having a hard time getting vanilla ice cream. I thought, well, there you go. There's the canary in the coal mine. You can't get vanilla ice cream. Looks like a lot of people are cashing out right here. They're like, I'm out. That was a good scalp. I'm out. There was some cells up on top of there. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just so. I should do a live stream like Samurai Trader does, where he just stares into the camera. Like, dude, you're not even saying anything. I'll do a live stream like that. I'll turn on a camera and just be not in the shot. So I don't want to do that. That's just ridiculous. Like, why bother? Yeah, if you can't just swing from a tree like a monkey, what's the point? So that was the two dojis I'm looking at two dojis on the daily. Quite the profound pattern here. Look at double dojis. Because if you force them, I'll force them to become dojis. I'll force this into a gravestone. Dragonfly. It's upside down dragonfly, son. Don't you know that pattern by now? So look at that. Look at this nice smooth closing price. It's just as if those wicks never happened. Honey, I don't see why you just don't trade the line chart. It's so obvious it's running out of momentum. I know, but I love the wicks because it's what's paying the rent, honey. We ain't never gonna, like, could you imagine having that kind of trust in the line chart? Well, I'm just gonna, here's a bottom become a top. You just sell here, it's obvious. Yeah, I guess. How long did you wait for that trade again? So that's when I thought, well, I think I'm gonna go for the, how about I just throw a crop of tickets in here and just capture all this bullshit, right? And then how about if I put in tickets? God damn it, they're going to make me buy this currency again. Fuck it, I'm already in. I refuse to chase it now, it pulls back. The second I said I was going to buy more, they know I'm here. They know I'm watching these trades. It ain't right. It ain't right. So, look at this wick. I just can't get over it, man. You got your buy limits in here, and they crush this thing below here by 15 pips, and then they rip that thing north for like 70 pips. On the daily. Yeah, this looks perfect on the daily. Look at that thing. What a dumb shit trade. It's just ranging in this giant, crazy fucking range. You have to wonder, you know. You look at these prices and you think, well, I can see it, you know. There's probably somebody selling here. You're like, yeah, it's a Donald Trump going down here. You might go down there, but that's the daily chart. I guess we could make it down there. Are you still wearing your mask to the store? Man, I see people still wearing masks. I saw people going in the bank wearing a mask. Now, I don't know. This could have been a credit union or something where we care about our customers. We make them suffer without oxygen. What is going on, people? Step away from the fucking mask gear. So the sellers came in there. Look at that. Once they got that supply zone up there is over, right? Never want to buy. Never want to chase this thing, man. Okay, you feel like it. Yeah, look, it's going up. Geez, I don't know. Better off putting, if you're that bullish, put a buy limit in 3 pips deep right now here. Just to add to it. So that's a process. It's, what? Okay. It's more relaxing this way. Plus, whatever we lose, we can probably make it back by the end of the week. On a daily chart like this, yeah, that's quite the beatdown, isn't it? Look at this thing. My God. I can't get over this daily chart. It is a sell-off. Wow. Anything in here is a good price. Oh, jeez. It's too many tickets. I can't even get a fucking properties to come up. Oh, let's see here. Change this. Okay, another sell-off. So if you're really bullish, you buy that sell-off right there. This is a sell-off on the 5-minute. So you just put buy limits in right here. And just get in even bigger. Look at that last tick. And it rips the other way. Just amazing. So the cure is to just stack up all your tickets below that. That fractal will never change as you change time frames. It may disappear, but it'll always be there. This is time frame independent. See, there it is on the 1 hour. It's always there. So you can see the capture window on the 1 hour. As soon as it closes below there, you want to buy that. Better to put a crop of tickets in like this. So you see, these are real tickets. See, this is as close as you can get. That is 1/10 of a pip. And this is 2/10 of a pip. So these, I know these are 2/10 apart. Oh, you can't see it. I made it too crazily the wrong color there. Go deep blue. So there's my entries. I don't like that. Let's go black. Paint it black, man. It's tough to get the colors you want. So I'm entering on the black lines. You can't see my take profits. So I don't know if you can see this, but There could be overlapping tickets, and I wouldn't know that either, because they're actually going to sit in a perfect grid there. The broker doesn't let you get a different price. It's hard to find the current price in here, though. So some of these are limits, but most of those are filled. And so if we can just get above my worst ticket, so if we pop above here tonight really quickly, I'll probably just get out and come back in really quick and drop limits underneath the market all over again and do the whole same thing. Same stupid trade over and over again. So the 1 hour looks like that. So I put limits down here hoping we'd smash down here, but I don't think that's going to happen. Well, it could happen when Europe opens. So here's the thing. In Asia, we're either going to sell off into Europe or we're going to rally into Europe. So today, 3 o'clock in the morning, or here, we sold off, and now we rallied into the news. So this was the Asian session. There was the trap. I was talking about that 15-minute sell window. Even though this is a 1 hour chart, it was about coming up into that and then ripped down. If you held through that, half hour chart. So in the 5-minute chart right now, you'd buy that 5-minute pullback. You'd just be like, that's the only pullback it looks like I'm going to get. Now you buy here and wait another 5 minutes. If it's down again in 5 minutes, I'd pull the trigger on the 5-minute. And that strategy, the 5-minute. Look at that beautiful 5-minute double bottom. So if you're just looking at the line chart, okay, looking for a rally now. So coming out of this, the scalpers that sold that, they probably took something already, because like, look at that 5-minute chart. Like, this thing just itching to go berserk. And it's been itching to do that, like jump the creek. We haven't quite... So I guess we did jump the creek here, but we came back into the fold. We came back to the home base. Jesus, technology. Everything needs a power supply, apparently. Yeah, I'm not going to add to it. Now I feel like buying again. So it's easy to get trapped into this. Hey, it's going up. Buy. They try to trick you. They're tricksters. What there's going on behind the scenes there, I had this girlfriend that used to think that there was somebody changing the prices. I had to get rid of her. She thought inside the computer that somebody was trading against me. Forget institutional manipulation. She thought there was a guy in the computer. She didn't understand where the prices were coming from. I said they're coming through this radio over here. It's one of them satellite dishes on the roof bringing in the signals. You know. Uh-huh. Okay, this could be a nice rally tonight. Going for those first 10 pips. Trying to get the account up to about 1950, so that would be about 14 pips, 15 pip rally. Nice and quick and dirty, and then we can buy in pullbacks. In fact, if it scalps me out of something, and I still think I want to buy it, I'm going to come in 10 to 20 to 30 pip deep all over again, and just maybe there's going to be a retest. And when the interest rates come out, I have enough. So when they do the FOMC garbage, we might just take the wheels that come off the train, maybe, if something happens. And then I'm going to have my finger. I got these like giant, it's 3K and a 20 pip windows. In a 20 pip area, I can drop a 3K, which is a giant coverage area. So if you keep dropping those, you could drop a 10K of those and cover 200 pips. And I don't think I'm going to trade too heavy, but I can trade some news like that. It's not a lot of money, but I like the fun of the market goes smashing up. Now, ideally, you're in a trade before the news comes out. And maybe it's not too big a position. And you're like, damn, that's a great trade right there. That is a great trade. So I did it a few times. Last time I did it was FOMC or some kind of, non-farm payroll bullshit. And they'd bid the market all the way down just like this on the daily. But imagine this is the 4-hour chart. And I said, I'm just going to hold it. Fuck them. Fuck them. So it almost gap open. It went screaming up, pulled back a little bit, and then it went just rocketing into like this wick. It just boom. And then I think it got out. I let it cash out some of the tickets, but I just wanted out because I thought, what if it slams back? Because it could do that. And it went up a little further. And then when Asia came, it actually drifted up, but I knew I wasn't going to hang out for the drift up for the extra 20 pips. I just wanted to take the money and run. So sometimes, if you can handle the psychology, here's 931 right now, so here's the big deal, 930. If you can handle holding X and you like that feeling of being an investor on some level, then you'd probably be a good trend trader, swing trader on the large time frames. Right? You're a no-nonsense person, apparently. But if you could see the opportunities where the market goes berserk, you cashed out because you just laid a trap of limit orders in an area that you perceive to be, I guess they call them value areas or whatever you call it. But what you thought was going to happen happened. The scenario, the orders are based on market punching into a certain area. Retrace, you're out, you're up, you're cashed out, and that's a little different, right, than scanning 20 markets with a moving average crossover system. And you'll see people do this where they're looking for a signal. And you're kind of hemming and hawing. There was a guy I made fun of once because he had this algorithm built and he'd go to the next currency pair. But I thought, geez, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem to be too certain of, like, the indicators not helping. This is also this guy. I don't know if he still listens, but he's probably doing something else now. But he built indicators because he knew how to code. He learned to code. Somebody told him learn to code. He did. And he could build these indicators that were so fantastical. He had his own forex strength meter showing you the currency strengths of like 8 currency pairs. Each had their own color. They're all on the screen at the same time with stats, you name it. And this is incredible stuff. But then he would scalp the guppy, which is mind-blowing because the guppy, even on a good broker, and his broker went bankrupt after they crashed after they unpegged the Swiss franc. Yeah, the old broker lost a few bucks in there, but really scalping the guppy, and he would just buy and dump, so he's making like a half a pip. Like, man, he was like skimming the market. He wasn't even scalping, he was skimming it. Dude. And he wanted me to write him a script to buy at the market. And I said, where do you want me to set the take profit? And he says, don't set one. Just give me a stop. So hit me and this millionaire guy, we're on Skype. And you're blowing your mind. The people you meet. He says, I'm short the guppy. I'm up 400 pips. And we said, and it's like the way the euro looks right here on the daily. We're like, dude, are you going to get out? He goes, nope, not. He wanted that infinite target. He goes, no. And so we didn't know if he was putting us on or trolling us, I guess it's called, because he was like, no. And then the market starts to retrace pretty violently. And it gets near a stop. He never trailed his stop. And they stopped him out. About 40 hours later, we were talking to him. We were doing the same live thing. And we go, how did that trade going? Because everybody knew everybody's trade. And he says, oh, yeah, it stopped me out. And I'm like, damn, man, how do you do that? Like, are you just like crazy? Like, I guess it's good not to follow anybody's suggestions to you. It's better for you to learn yourself. But I mean, how greedy can you be? Yeah, don't give me a take profit. Just let it ride. For what? 8 months? You think it's never gonna it's gonna go in a straight line for 8 months? Yeah, jeez. So this might take us a few hours to get paid tonight. But definitely when Europe opens, we could be up into Europe open and then slam down and then. But because of where everything's at now, I think I haven't looked at the pound, but I think the pound last time I saw it was beat to shit. It just bid down hard. And dollar yen smashed to bits. Stock market, 355 pip bounce. Dow Jones out of the gate there. You can kind of expect that. But then, of course, down made a doji, so to speak. It's only up, when you see the market unchanged, that's a doji. So that'll be interesting. And I supposedly the cities, the fake cities brought it down. The fake Chinese cities brought the markets down. But there's not much. There's a lot of tipping points. All you need to do is spark a little bit because everything's fragile up here. Very thin air for the bulls now. It's the end of the year is coming. A lot of things you could say fundamentally unravel, like the fact that the current regime is basically. They installed themselves. And elections are just for show. Elections are just kind of quaint. It's just a patriotic thing to vote. It's not that your vote counts. It's the exercise, people, like, the ritual. I didn't know that's what it was. Apparently that's, and supposedly the most vote. It's kind of sad, the country that claims the most freedom to vote. You should vote. I mean, people used to say this shit. It's because I never voted until Trump came, actually. So I really didn't vote for president. So I thought, dude, I got better shit to do. You think I can fucking stop this juggernaut of fucknuttery? You think I can stop this? No. So I just signed off. That's not going to happen for me. Fuck you. And people would say, well, if you don't vote, then you can't complain. I go, I'm going to complain my fucking ass off double now that you said that. Fuck you. So I bring that anger to the trading. Got to trade who you are. So I just can't believe it. So now I'm like, I just go back to, fuck it, you can have it. Whatever. You guys just get a circular firing squad anyways at this point. I always say let the baby have its ball. Just throw some razor blades in there. I mean, I kind of like to watch them just run it off a cliff. I think when BLM shows up at your business and starts telling you you're racist because, 70% of black people are not jabbed. That is a really cringe fucking phrase. Did you get the jab? I'm like, what are we, fucking 5 years old? Shut the fuck up. Oh, Jesus, man. You mean injected? I like injected because it's what it is. Injection. Oh, did you have somebody fuck your arm? Yeah, look at this. Now I got fucking Bell's arm palsy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for rushing that out. Thanks for your warp speed engineering. I mean, you wouldn't even treat your dog like that, man. My dog can't eat chocolate. Oh, really? Come here, Fluffy. I got you fucking truffle right here, buddy. I got you fucking some Godiva here, buddy. People could hate cats, though. Isn't it funny? He used to torture the cat before he traded forex. Now look at him. He's scalping. He makes money. I don't know what to tell you. Our neighbor's kind of weird. He's got a bunch of God, what do those guys think about the chief, Wayne McDonald, the chief strategist for Traders Way? Our neighbor's got a bunch of 4K screens, and he looks like Pike. We're worried about him. Yeah. No, I guess I'd have to work my way up to the stream idea though. It's really, you have to do it. Really, it's tough. You got to have the levels set, and I don't actually have the engineering. And the last time I did it, I couldn't control people's volumes, and some people key in so hot, and you just don't want it to be a brutal, harsh event. I do have compressors I can run. I do run a compressor in OBS, but I'm not sure when I'm doing the. Yeah, I guess I can't tell. I can't tell what the broadcast is because I don't have anybody listening to it. I'd have to turn it on another thing. But I guess if you care, you're in trouble, right? It'd just be a complete hack. Just let her rip. Okay, we're looking for that rally now. Into 10 o'clock. Coming into Europe. Let's get this thing done, people. Come on. We're up $80. Come on, give me my fucking money, you fucking bears. Yeah, so this bid down's pretty harsh, don't you think? I'd stay in that trade for a week in the old days. I'd just like, fuck them. And I'd add on to, like, right now I'd be buying at the market with my free margin. I'd just be... And sometimes, man, that was the trade to be in. And sometimes it wasn't. So, yeah, you'd still lose money. But, well, this is a little more civilized. At least I know kind of my sleeping habit, what I want to do. And, you could sleep through Asia, I suppose. You could be long right now holding some small positions. So the comfort level of the tickets you're in, how many you got going there. And people do want to exploit all the markets they can. Every time I try to do it, I'm just so distracted by, like, well, what's that market doing? So if I was going to have those guys that have like 8 wives, I just get one at a time. I mean, having 8 wives, I'm like, what does this bitch want? No. I mean, what? I thought I made sandwiches for all you girls. One birthday cake for all yous. Well, I find girls have the same birthday. Okay, but we're waiting again. So it looks really good. For a swing trader on the daily chart, it looks very like premium. That looks like a sell-off to me. But if you're living in a half-hour window, we could still go tanking 8 pips for no apparent reason right now. So on the weekly, it's a no-brainer, right? On the weekly, you're like, yeah, I guess we could buy that. It looks like it's oversold on the weekly. It's only been going down for 2 fucking weeks, dude. Jesus. And you could just hold on to this hammer. But my targets are set to like 10, 15, 20, 30. I always think, wow, could I ever have the patience to sit in this trade? I don't think so. But look at this thing, man. We're actually below this on close. There's a deep discount price going on today, this week. That was over in August. Yeah, that is deep discount territory. 4 hour looks encouraging. If we can take out this bar. Right there, we'll be up almost on every ticket. Be 5K underwater if we can make it to this bar. All right. So that's it. We're trying to get, by 3 a.m. we want to be cutting into this. We're on our way to that and cashing out. Otherwise, we're going to have to take out these wicks, but that's okay because I put buy limits in there. I got enough money because I survived that sell-off. Picked up about 15K on that sell-off. And if need be, what I would do here is move my targets. I wouldn't move my stops though. So I'd start moving my targets up if I thought, you know what, we really are going to go cutting north. So I take them up like just a random amount here. So if I get really careful, I get all picky. I'll be like, okay, let me move that up about 15 pips. So it's 1 pip better, and then so they stop blinking at below 10 pips. So here's 15. Right, it's only blinking because it's within 10 pips of fill. So 23 pips I'm going to set it at. And then I do this. So there was a guy on Discord that says he trades manually. This is the manual part. So if I think this trade is about a good size for a swing trade, now I'm going to convert this from a scalp to a swing trade. So I'll still scalp out that 5K though. It's not a lot of money, but it adds up. It also takes the risk away, a little bit of risk, and then I can put in a limit. So what I do is if I cash out of X, I come back in with shallow limits just below it, and I start coming in and buying more. So it's this anywhere from 100K to about 300K seems like a safe amount for this account. And you can do a lot with that much. Sometimes a 50K position, 20 pips, still $100. That's pretty acceptable. I'm sure you could find a place to put 50 micro lots. It shouldn't be too hard. Anyways, the market's not moving, but if it was, you'd see this target change. How many tickets get involved in that? Okay, so it's moving away from, it's moving down because it's getting away from these targets now. So without even looking at the market, you can kind of see now it's getting near my targets. So if I see it's really zooming up there, I can start moving with the market and start moving my targets up. So when it does spike up, also maybe you don't want to do it because you want to take 40K off the table, guaranteed. You don't have to worry about the speed of execution because when they hit these tickets, you'll be out. When you hit the targets. So really those are sell limits, so to speak, to get out at profit. All right, so there you go. That's that. Time to go to the movie vault and pick a bad movie.